Oh, hello world. My name is Stephen Walker and welcome to A Walker in the Woods. I am coming at you today from my man cave here in South Korea. And if you decide to tune in and turn on to this content, please give me one of these. It helps the algorithm. Today, I am celebrating my 10th day of a water fast. I started this water fast on July 1st. Today is July the 10th. And so far, so good. I've actually had quite a bit of energy. I've been in the mountains most every day. I went to the gym for the first 4 days of my fast. A lot of people talk about losing energy, even getting sick, but my constitution, I don't know. I think a lot of this is about the mind, the mindset, and I'm going to talk a bit about that today. And rather than just talk to the camera, I'm a teacher here at a university in South Korea, so PPTs are kind of my thing. It keeps me focused, and it will also give you visual information that you can follow along easily. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to open my PPT, and let's take a look at a few things that I have organized for us to talk about. Okay, so my thumbnail said that my last meal was 10 days ago, and that was my last meal. Two big, fat, juicy steaks, and there were four eggs on that plate. And yes, I do miss it. It was tasty, and I've been carnivore. I've been probably 90 to 95% carnivore for about a year or two. Um, I really do believe in this way of eating. They call it the proper human diet. There's a lot of protein and fat involved, and a lot of people do videos on the carnivore diet. I'm not going to go too much into it, but I think when I do finish this water fast, I will go back to the carnivore diet. I'm not sure how I'm going to end this fast yet. I've got 30 days to go, so 30 days to think about it. But today I would like to take a look at some metrics. I have an InBody machine. I'll show it to you. So this is the InBody, and so you basically strip down as far as you feel comfortable. You put your feet on your right foot over here, your left foot on here, and it has an app on your phone that you start it. And when you're standing on it, you hold this. These two sections are for your thumbs. The longer two metal sections are for your fingers. And the app will tell you when it starts and when it will finish. And then you have the metrics. You have the metrics that I'm going to look at now. So the metrics that this InBody machine calculates, you type in your height, so that will most likely not change. But the InBody machine will check the weight, your skeletal muscle mass, percent of body fat, your visceral fat level, waist hip ratio, body fat mass, soft lean mass, basal metabolic rate, and your BMI. So on July 1st, now I am 5'10", which is 177.8 centimeters. In here in Korea, everything is done in centimeters and kilograms, as it is in most countries around the world across this earth. America likes the feet, the inches, and the pounds, so I'm going to give both. But my weight on the 1st of July was 201.3 pounds. And by the way, I am 53 years old and 91.3 kilo. My skeletal muscle mass was 94.8 pounds or 43 kilogram. Percent body fat, 17.8%. The visceral fat level is 7. Now, I didn't really know what the LV means on this visceral fat level, so I did do some research. So basically, it has to do with the heart, and some home or gym-based body composition monitors provide a visceral fat score. And this score can range on a scale from 1 to 59. A visceral fat rating of 1 to 12 is typically considered healthy. 13 or higher indicates high visceral fat with increased health risks. So mine is 7. I am well within the 1 to 12 range. So that's good. Waist hip ratio is 0.93. My body fat mass is 36 pounds or 16.3 kilogram. Soft lean mass 145 pounds or 65.8. Basal metabolic rate 1,991 kilocalorie, and the BMI is 63.7 or 28.9. So now let's take a look. I measured myself this morning on July 10th, and I am now at 183.4 pounds, and that is down 17.9 pounds, almost 18 pounds in 10 days. And I was 83.2 kilo, and that is 8.1 kilo lost in 10 days. The percent body fat, 17.8 on the first day, down to 16.5. So that is 1.3%. My LV went down 1 point. The waist hip ratio down 0.01. The body fat mass dropped about 5.8 pounds. Soft lean mass remained the same. The basal metabolic rate also dropped, and the BMI dropped. That dropped by 5.7. Is that right? 3, 5, yeah. 5.7 pounds, the BMI, which is, what? 2.6 kilo. That's actually a lot more of a change than I was expecting. I've done a 20-day fast in the past, I think 2 years ago. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it's the heat because it is summer here in South Korea and it's hot. So, of course, not eating food has something to do with it, and exercising most every day has something to do with it as well. But here you go. I will do probably a day 20, a day 30 review of these metrics to keep myself honest and for anyone that's interested in following along with this. I find it pretty fascinating. But here you go. I do have a few photos that I suppose I will share with you. Of course, everyone has to take these pictures of the front and the side partially clothed. That was me on the 1st of July, the front and obviously the side. And of course, I don't know, am I stocky? I'm chubby. I'm most definitely soft, especially in the midsection, up in the neck. The tits, not good. That's a 53-year-old average, typical, I don't know, but not good body of a man. And excuse the hairdo, but this was taken after I woke up this morning. But just by comparing the front view, I most definitely lost some fat in the neck. The jawline is more pronounced. And the belly. So I do have a pooch down here still, but here you can see zero muscle formation form, and over here the six pack, the two pack is starting to show. These are my ribs. So most definitely, when you do a fast and you wonder if you're losing any weight, you will notice it in the jawline and the neck before you start noticing it in the belly. So that's a 10-day comparison on my physical form. You may ask why. Why would you want to do a 10-day fast, much less a 40-day fast? And before anyone starts a fast, I would suggest that you do know or have a very strong why. My why is for personal, physical, and spiritual reasons. So today I will take a fairly quick look at physical, mental, and spiritual. So let's begin with the physical. When you do go on a fast, an extended fast, mental clarity and focus, it's actually very amazing how mentally clear your brain becomes and how focused you become. Once you're fat adapted, the brain sharpens and you have no blood sugar crash. So again, I always liken it back to the old, like prehistoric ancestor time when they didn't have a refrigerator, they didn't have a freezer. They were hunters and gatherers, but primarily hunters, and they would go out and kill. And when they made a kill, they would feast, and then they would sleep, and then they would fast until the next kill comes along. So when they're out of food and the community is getting hungry, they need to prepare to go back out and hunt. And as you are in a fasted state, the eyes get sharper, the ears get clearer, all of your five senses heighten. And I definitely notice that when I do an extended fast. Improved digestion is another physical thing that you will notice. Fasting resets and rests your gut. If you have IBS or bloating or leaky gut symptoms, if you do I don't know, probably a 3-day, 5-day, 1 week fast, you may be surprised at the results. Hormonal balance is another, especially relevant for men and women who deal with energy, libido, or mood issues. Many people may think, oh, I'm going to become hangry. Hangry, I'm hangry. I need food, I need food. Actually, it's quite the opposite. The body really slows down and the heart rate that I find anyways. Now, this is just a personal review. Everyone is different, but I notice that I am much more relaxed and things don't piss me off as they did when I would be eating and not a good diet or just being busy and having a full belly. The next one, skin health becomes much better. Reduced breakouts, brighter complexion, and that has to do with autophagy. And it also has to do with the inflammation goes down in your body. The lymph starts to drain. The skin starts to tighten. Blemishes do go away. And better sleep patterns. Many fasters do report deeper and more restful sleep, and I've noticed my dreams are more vivid and I do not wake up throughout the night. I would always wake up at least once to use the restroom, and the last 10 days I've slept through until the morning. I do wake up early, like 5 o'clock. Once I'm awake, I can't go back to sleep. So that's when I would use the restroom, splash some water on my face, and get ready for the day. Improved insulin sensitivity is also another benefit of the physical aspects of fasting. Giving your pancreas a break can reset insulin levels and improve metabolic health. Next is mental. I have four bullet points to cover here. Number one is discipline and willpower. So ultimately, it does take a lot of discipline and willpower to get you through each and every day. It is literally one day at a time. But by doing so, when you go to bed at the end of a day, at the end of a fast, you prove to yourself that you are not a slave to cravings, and this is very, very empowering. The old adage, mind over matter, is definitely a key component of getting through each and every day. The mind controls the body in many, many, many ways. The flesh might say, I want it, I crave it, I'm addicted to it. But your mind, if you train your mind and can control your mind and say, nope, not today, not this week, not next week, the cravings will go away, especially if you have some good H2O. Electrolytes are definitely important. Some good salt is basically a similar thing to electrolytes. I really don't purchase electrolytes. I do go for just some salt, but mostly water. Breaking addiction is another thing that I would like to talk about. So, obviously, we think of addiction as cigarettes and alcohol and various drugs and whatnot, shopping, porn. How about flour? White flour. How about white sugar? Sugar, caffeine, late night snacking, all of these things are addictive. Try giving up white flour. Try giving up that bread, or try giving up that snack. It's not easy, I know. But when you get into a deep fast, this does help reset bad habits. Emotional regulation. Without food to numb or comfort, you confront emotions directly and learn to observe them. I talked about emotions in a past video and about how if you can get out of yourself and look at yourself from above, metaphorically speaking, and witness, okay, this is anger. I'm very angry, but I do know that this emotion will pass. Now, this emotion is being very happy. And I understand it that he is happy for such and such a reason, but I also know that this emotion will pass. When you do fast and you are basically cleaning out the body, burning all of that fat, past emotions, traumas may rise to the surface. That is a very strong possibility, and you have to be aware of that and ready to confront anything that kind of comes up. And hopefully, if you live with someone, if you have a family, just kind of forewarn them and say, hey, if I'm going to be an emotional wreck this week, forgive me. I'm burning off some past trauma. Mental reset. Fasting can offer clarity during life transitions or after burnout. I am kind of going through a life transition at the moment and a bit of a burnout. I've been in Korea for a long time and I'm trying to decide if I want to stay or go. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this 40-day fast. I really want to go deep inside my heart, soul, and mind and figure out the future, which is not an easy thing to do as a 53-year-old man. Generally, at 53, you should be kind of set and said, okay, I'm pretty much anchored here. But in this day and age, there are no promises. Nothing is set in stone. And one of the most important reasons that I'm doing a 40-day fast, not a 10-day, 20-day, or 30-day, obviously, a lot of the great minds, spiritual leaders, Gandhi comes to mind, and of course, Jesus Christ, they did a 40-day fast. And after doing extensive research, I found a lot of people that have done 40-day fasts, and many of them, if not most of them, did do it for spiritual reasons. And there are a lot of positive, uplifting stories about their experience. And so I too want to experience a physical, mental, and spiritual rejuvenation. And only through an extended fast can you really go deep inside and clear out all of the trauma, all of the trash that it's built up chemically from all of the bad food choices that we've made, the pollution, the air. Our bodies are overloaded, and only through a really long extended fast can we allow it to clean itself naturally. Detachment from consumerism. On a fast from food and hopefully also from social media, you do realize how much marketing, boredom, and social conditioning affects your choice. A reverence for simplicity. You gain appreciation for small pleasures, for clear, clean water, for stillness, for deep breathing, and of course, sunlight. As I said before, I've been outside every day so far during this fast, and I intend to do so for the next 30 days. Grounded. Grounding is another thing that I totally recommend, which is basically taking your shoes off and walking on the ground, on the grass, on the beach, in the water, in a river, in the ocean. Spiritual surrender. When the body is quiet, the soul does speak louder. And of course, having a Bible, if you are so inclined to do that. I have been reading it, but not as religiously as I would like to. I have been busy, and that's another thing about being in a fasted state. Keeping yourself busy mentally and physically is important. If you're just sitting around and staring at the refrigerator, it will be a very, very, very long 40 days. So keep the mind and body occupied. And then finally, connection with ancestral wisdom. Fasting has been practiced for centuries in nearly every spiritual tradition. Indian, Chinese, Native American. You go back, it's just part of our DNA. It is built within us. And so if and when the shit hits the fan, if the economy would somehow collapse, be it from an outside source or internally, you know that you can go at least 3 days to 10 days to 30 days. I don't know if I can make it to 30. I don't know if I can make it to 40. I haven't done it yet, but I do know that I can make it to 20. That's power. That is true power. Okay, shit's hitting the fan. I'm good for the next 20 days. I'm just going to hang low and let everybody else run around and attack and fight over toilet paper and whatnot. So, do you want to try? Does this sound interesting? Have you tried? If you have, drop me a line down below and tell me how long you have gone and what benefits you have noticed. If you've never tried it and you do want to try it, I do have a few words of advice. Number one, most importantly, is to start slow. Start by cutting out some sugars, carbs, and your snacking. Break it down to 3 square meals a day. Then go to 2 meals a day. And then possibly go to OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. And then from there, you can go one full 24-hour period. 1 day to 3 days. Three is a magic number, they say, in a lot of different ways. Three, the number three. But I have read how the number three, a 3 day fast, is kind of a reboot or reset for the body. So if you really want to see if fasting, a long fast, is right for you, I would suggest working your way up to a 3 day fast. If you noticed good results, go for a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 40 days. But at the end of the day, each and every hour, listen to your body. If you're getting lightheaded, if you have heart palpitations, if you have fatigue, if you have muscle spasms, if you vomit, if you have extended diarrhea, I don't know, whatever symptom that is not normal, most definitely stop. I am not a doctor. I would also suggest before you start a long fast to go get yourself checked out. And but just know that it is possible, and hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people around the world do extended fasts with great improvement. So I would just like to leave you with a quote, and this is by Rumi, who was a 13th century poet from Afghanistan. And his quote is, "Fasting is the first principle of medicine. Fast and see the strength of the spirit reveal itself." Again, all of the great minds talked about fasting and how important it is, spiritually, mentally, and physically. So I hope you were able to glean some kind of information positively out of this. Again, if you're interested in contacting me, drop me a comment down below, and I'd be more than happy to answer the best I know, the best I can. I am not a doctor. I am not a professional faster. I'm just a simple dude, 53-year-old teacher living in South Korea who believes in it. And again, if you talk the talk, you must walk the walk. So I am walking this path through 40 days, and I plan on making videos. Making these YouTube videos is also helping me with my motivation and focus and keeping my mind active during this 40-day fast. If I didn't have this, the fast would be much, much, much more difficult. So for anyone that is tuning in and watching, I do thank you very much, and I'll see you on the mountain. Oh, yeah. And here, I'm not in the mountain, but I still have a moment of Zen for you. Ciao.